So then, it's the day after we just played Brighton, and in today's video we're going to be speaking about Wembley. Wembley is next Sunday. I'm recording this on Monday. Not long. It is really not long away, and obviously with the red card to Anthony Gordon, which I'm going to speak about a little bit more. Obviously you've seen the rant on the channel. A little bit more in depth and how it's going to affect Newcastle. How are Newcastle going to line up at Wembley? It's massive. The game's next Sunday and we've got injuries, that red card to speak about, and do we change formation? It's all up there at the minute with Newcastle United. It always is. It's never easy supporting this football club, but if you could leave a like, boys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It would mean if you could do so, but we're going to get into the video now. Firstly, we're going to speak about the red card, how it's going to affect us, and then I've made 3 teams that I think potentially could get played if injuries and stuff, because obviously I don't know. A big player could get injured against West Ham, I don't know. So we're going to have to look at it from now and think, Reet, how are we going to play at Wembley? What's the team going to be? How we're going to line up? How we're going to play? But firstly, let's speak briefly more about the red card and how it's going to affect Newcastle United. So going from that rant yesterday, I recorded that rant with literally watching a couple of clips on Twitter, reading a couple of things on Twitter, and obviously I got it from the game an hour after doing that video, so I was obviously absolutely relaxed a little bit now. Obviously still livid, still on my mind to think, why the hell Anthony Gordon done that? One thing I want to say I'm happy about is that he hasn't came out with a bullshit apology on social media going, oh, I'm so sorry for the fans, I shouldn't have done this, shouldn't have done that. He's now got to perform massively towards the end of the season because he's got us knocked out the FA Cup. Obviously he was on the pitch when we conceded the second goal, but momentum and everything, obviously when you get a red card like that, it's never easy. Obviously Brighton did get a red card and we got a goal late on and stuff, but the red card affected us in that game and got us knocked out the FA Cup. So while we won competition because of a stupid red card, and now he's affected, we're going into the game against Liverpool at Wembley. And not even speaking about Liverpool here, we're going to be just speaking about Wembley and Newcastle and Anthony Gordon in this part of the video. So when you look at that red card for Anthony Gordon, watching it back, I think it's absolutely stupid that Newcastle United are going to try and appeal it. I think it's a blatant red card. You can't do that in this game. I've not seen anyone complain about the Matheus Cunha one, literally the day before the Gordon one, which makes it even worse. I don't think Wolves are going to appeal for it. It's stupid from him. He's made a mistake and he's going to face the punishment of now being in the relegation battle, and they've lost one of their best players because of stupidity, and now it's the same for Newcastle United. Sky Sports put on something as well about the stats of Anthony Gordon and what he brings to Newcastle, and he does bring a lot of quality to that team, and he is a hard worker, especially in a game like that. I could guarantee if we went into that game with an approach like, let's just press them, let's just boss them, and let's get the fans up and ready, like what happened against Arsenal in the second leg, where he would have flew into tackles, got stuck in, and you're not going to get that from Bobby's Harvey Barnes if he does play on that left hand side. Gordon gives you that hard work and desire that you want in a player, and missing that now is going to be absolutely massive. And look, for me, now we've just got to take Gordon completely out of the picture. It's stupid to think, oh, he could come into the team, even if the red card does get rescinded, I wouldn't start him in the final. I don't think it's fair. Even if he is able to play and stuff, I wouldn't start him. I really wouldn't. Even speaking to the West Ham game and Brentford game at home that he does miss. This is a big opportunity for whoever plays in this left wing position, and obviously everyone's thinking Harvey Barnes is going to play. I've decided something different and looked at something different. So we'll look at the team, the teams that I have made. I will obviously show you the crap with that, but more than the fact the red card, I think it's a blatant red card. I think it's we've got to just look at it now and go, look, it's done, we can't do nothing about it, and forget about it and move on. Now, this part of the video, we're going to look at the little teams I've made. Obviously, I've made 3 different teams, not in order of what I want, what I think. These are the 3 teams that I think Newcastle United will more than likely play at Wembley if the players who are injured currently and who came off against Brighton are all okay. So here's team 1 on screen now. 4 at the back, normal 4-3-3 formation with the straight swap of Harvey Barnes in at left wing. Joe Linton back in the midfield with Tonali and Bruno. Obviously they played them games where we were so good this season, obviously beating Ipswich, right? That like Christmassy time when we were so good. them three were in midfield and controlled it massively. So Joe Linton went in midfield, you've got Harvey Barnes out on the left, I can say Murphy probably starting on the right and then Isak up top. Defence stays the same as I would expect, and obviously I have put Martin Dubravka in goal for the three teams, and Martin Dubravka is in goal for every team. Just so you know, I'm Dubravka rather than Nick Pope, so I don't have to express or speak about that again. Speaking about the left-hand side, Harvey Barnes and Anthony Gordon are two completely different players. I think a lot of fans still question the signing of Harvey Barnes. Was it a bit of a panic buy because they got relegated and we were like, oh, we can get him on a better deal? But it was stupid because we signed two left wingers. Obviously, Gordon was a right winger, as we see in the documentary, but he's always played out on the left, and he's always said that his best position is out on the left. Harvey Barnes isn't the same player when he's on that right hand side. Obviously Gordon can play on the right hand side, probably better than what Barnes can, but Harvey Barnes is either left wing or no wing in my opinion. He should either be on the left or he shouldn't be in that team whatsoever. And obviously he started on the right against Brighton in the FA Cup match. I didn't think he'd done too bad, to be fair, but for that team, obviously, as you can see there, I've put Harvey Barnes in left wing. Let's look at the next team. You can see now Harvey Barnes isn't in the team, and this is sort of a team where the 2022-23 season, where we had Willock in the midfield with Joe Linton out on the left. It's a very similar team to what we had 2 seasons ago, which is actually quite scary. The only difference really was now Dubravka's in, and then you've got Livramento and Hall and Tonali. The rest of them are still all the same from 2 seasons. It just shows that we need to invest in this team. But speaking about that left hand side, Joe Linton, I do rate on the left hand side. I think he can bring you something that other left wingers can't. Like he's like Barnes and like Gordon, a completely different player on the hand side. What's a good thing about playing that Joe Linton left hand side role? You have Willock in the middle, because more than likely will start Willock. If he starts long stuff, then it's absolutely pointless. My point of view of looking at this is irrelevant. But when you've got Joe Linton and Willock there, they tend to swap, and it can confuse the fullback to getting used to a player, and which one thing I've always looked at and think, right, that's a good thing and something that you've got to build on. You look at defenders getting comfortable, because you know, like, Harvey Barnes is always going to come on his right foot. When it comes to swap with Joe Linton and Willock, the only downside to that team is I think Joe Willock's been very poor, and I don't think it's getting spoken about enough. He had a good game versus Birmingham. Apart from that, he's been really, really poor, and it's quite concerning in my eyes. I really think it is. You look at the performances that he should be bringing, like, people still rate him, people still rate him, people still want him to do well, but he clearly isn't good enough. He's got that run of games now where he's not being injured. So what is the excuse? Do you know what I mean? In the Premier League, I can't remember the last time he actually scored a goal in the Premier League. I can't even think of last season when he scored a goal, which is really concerning. But if you're going to play Joe Linton on the left, I think you've got to play Willock in the midfield. I would love Miley to play, because I think Miley has been great when he's came back from injury, and he's performed really well when he has played. But for that Joe Linton on the left hand side, I think you've got to play Willock for the sake of what happened in that 2022-23 season. But like I said before, with Miley's not in any of these teams. I think it's undeserved. I think Miley was one of them where he probably should start and well and truly deserves to start and is more than capable of starting at Wembley. But look, that's the next team. The next team that I'm going to show is a formation change. So 5 at the back then. Obviously you can see Sven Botman's in. Obviously sat here now, I don't know if Sven Botman's going to be fit. I would have loved him to get some minutes under his belt against Brighton in the FA Cup. Unfortunately didn't. I think if he is fit enough for West Ham, I would play him to get some minutes, even if it's 60 minutes, even if it's half an hour, even if it's 45. Give him some minutes. I think in recent weeks, Fabian Shaw has been really bad, and I think he knows, because no one can come in. The only player who can come in for Fabian Shaw at the minute is Emil Kraft. And you look at that second leg against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, we went to a 5-back and everyone was scared going, oh, we're going to sit back. But we still went for it, and we still controlled the game, and we were really, really good. Obviously, I don't know if that was a bit of because Joe Linton got injured in that Fulham game, so it was like, do we go to a 5-back to be a little bit more defensive because we haven't got that bully in midfield like Joe Linton? The benefits of doing that, as you can see on screen, obviously with the team, putting Joe Linton out on the left-hand side, defensively, when we are defending, you probably go to a 5-4-1 rather than a 5-2-3. Doing that gives you a lot more defensive cover. You've got Joe Linton out in the midfield. Even if you went 5-3-2 and had Joe Linton in the midfield and put Murphy a little bit forward, the only concern about that is hitting them on the break and getting a bit of pace going. That's the only thing now that's lacking in that team without going that pace. Because Harvey Barnes isn't the quickest, Murphy isn't even the quickest, do you know what I mean? It's like, we need that bit of pace going forward against Liverpool, especially against Trent, who can't handle pace. It's quite obvious he's more than happy, Trent, to stand his ground and just wait for the attacker to come to him. But if you're going to bomb down the line and get at Trent and even Robertson or even to Tsimikas, I think if you bring pace, that's when they do tend to struggle, Liverpool. But look, it's going to be a game where we will probably have to defend more than we attack. We all know that. At Anfield, it was the exact same situation. If I'm sat here right now, honestly, I would play that 5-back if Sven Botman's fit. It's a bit of a funny one if you're going to bring Emil Kraft in. If you did go to that 5-back, because he's the only one that can go centre-half, really. Obviously, we sold Kelly in that. He's the only player who can go centre-half if Sven Botman isn't fit. If Botman's fit, I would play him. We seen when he came back from injury, it was Spurs. It was Spurs away this season. He came back from injury, started straight away over Lloyd Kelly, which was a funny one to begin with anyways. And he had a really good game. He got some minutes under his belt. And then even in the Carabao Cup game at away when I was there at the Emirates, it was a great performance. And I thought Sven Botman was brilliant in that game and all. So if Sven Botman's fit, I would bring him in and go to that 5-back formation if that's me. Obviously, we're still uncertain about Lewis Hall, about Isak, about Livramento, 3 players who struggled against Brighton. Obviously, Lewis Hall wasn't there against Brighton, so it's gonna be a funny old one to see what actually gets played. I think West Ham, the game before Wembley, is gonna have a massive effect on what the team is. Does Eddie Howe play a second team against West Ham and go for a draw? Does he play players who haven't really played? It's such a tough one to call. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below of what team you would play and stuff. But if it's me. And I'm sat there at the training ground on Saturday before we head off to London. I'm playing that 5-back and hopefully Sven Botman is fit. If you did enjoy that video, boys, make sure to leave a like. I am going to start doing more sit-down videos. Obviously, at the minute, gym, work, lifestyle in general, it does get a lot. But I'm going to try and do as many sit-down videos like this. When you can actually talk about. It's hard to do sit-down talk videos when there's not really a talk about the team, but done this video speaking about Wembley and stuff, and I'm going to do another video going out on the channel this week speaking about what to expect from me on the channel, what I'm going to be doing when I go to Wembley, and hopefully it's going to be another incredible weekend like last time. Make sure to leave a like, post, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you all in the next one.